sing that long. Only God could have put that breath in my lungs because the disease had said no. And the symptoms would say no. But every time, one of the ladies on my worship team, I'd say, I don't even have strength in my arms. She said, the grace may not be there before, and it may not be there after. She said, but God will never fail you, and the grace will be on time every time. And every time he showed up and he gave me the strength. And he would move so powerfully in those worship services. And I learned this dependence on him in that 7 years. I even said, God, I'm sure I could serve you better if you just heal me. I'm sure I could sing all the better if you heal me. I'm sure I could teach better and be stronger if you just heal me. And he said, I remember him speaking and ministering to my heart and impressing me that, Kristi, I have you right where I want you. Trust me. And that's a strong word. That's a strong word because that means my healing may not have come until I got to go be with Jesus. When he says, I have you where I want you, trust me. And I did. And you know what? I quit praying for healing, and I began to pray for the healer. Because he ministered to me this very thing. He said, I am all that you need. You don't need to pray for the healing of me. This is my situation. I'll be your healer. I'm all that you need. We pray for provision. We pray for healing. We pray for all these things, for blessing. But when we realize that he is actually meeting the need, he is the need met, then it takes on a whole new realization that he's got this, that nothing is impossible, that greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, and that you can do anything through God who strengthens you. And I realized that there was an empowerment in that moment where I realized it isn't about me, it's about him. And so this is his, he's going to do it. I don't even have to do it, I just have to be there. I just got to show up. January 2017, I end up in the hospital. I had taken on a worship pastor position at Central Assembly of God, adding to my load and also still a teen challenge. And I ended up at the hospital with what they thought to be a heart attack. My muscle enzymes, those enzymes in your blood that go up when you have a heart attack, went up. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I said this simple thing. I said, Lord, I just don't know. I said, I'm going to serve you no matter what. I'm going to keep loving you. I'm going to keep worshiping you. But I might have to slow down. I said, the muscle disease on top of a heart attack and heart disease. They said I had heart disease and enlargement in my heart. And that particular muscle disease is known to affect your heart. And so there was a little fear that tried to sneak in. And I remember getting in the car. My husband's bringing me home. Oh, they sent me home because all of a sudden people had come to the church to pray for, or to the hospital to pray for me. And the enzyme level just dropped like that. So the next test, there was no elevated enzymes. And so I go up to the car and I'm excited, but yet I'm fearful because I know what the disease has done in my body and I know what it says it's going to do in the future. And I said, God, maybe I just need to slow down a little bit. And he ministered this in my heart. He said, Kristi, I've already healed you. But this part of your healing is your responsibility. And I said, oh God, what do you want me to do? And so I got home and thank God for Google. That's my line. Thank God for Google. I began to Google every symptom and everything that I would need to take out of my diet to counteract those symptoms. And I put it into place. So I gave up a lot of stuff. I gave up soda. I gave up, oh my goodness, I gave up sugar at that point, even some red meat. I'm not as drastic as I was, but I started just taking everything out. Within 4 days, the symptoms started to leave my body. Within 7 days, I woke up stronger than I've ever felt in my life, even as a teenager. Woke up, no pain, not one symptom, and haven't had one since. This is over a year ago.
Praise God. Hallelujah.
Now that's a good God. That's a healing God. That's a reason to shout, because that means he's a healer. He's amazing, and he's got everything you need in the palm of his hand. Even when things look like out of our control. Even when things look crazy to us, like how could this be? And what could be the plan? Why would you allow this? God says, no, I've got something. But you're going to have to be obedient. You're going to have to listen to me. Now, I often have said that obedience is the key to healing. And I believe it because I believe God had already healed me, but it was going to take my act of faith and obedience to see it manifest. And I think there's something to that as I walked it out over the last year. I realized in all this that God had a bigger plan, a much bigger plan. And that plan wasn't about me. That plan was about Him and His purpose. I want to sing one song here before I get into what else I want to share, because this song is a testimony of, I believe, what He's asked us to do. He hasn't asked us to give Him something we don't have. He hasn't asked us to give us things that we're not equipped with, or the gifts that He hasn't given us to give out. And this song is called, it's number 6, it's Poured Out of My Oil. And this song I wrote as a heart's cry that all I have to give, I want to give to you.